welcome back to GFF and Friends, the podcast for helicopters.
Helicopter, change.
Yes, I am your host, GFF, aka Todd, and joining me today is one of my favorite friends, the very talented writer, director, comedian, Brooke Seguin, everybody. Welcome to the podcast.
Hello. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for coming all the way to Glendale.
Oh, I love it. I love the Glendales. Yes.
Did you come? I noticed it was like quite the journey for you today. Did you come from your house or were you coming from somewhere else?
I came from home, yes. Okay. So some interstates happened and I took the wrong one.
And LA is hit or miss when it comes to interstates. You're like, oh, that one's always open. And then the one time you need to use it, closed.
Well, then the map's like, oh, save 2 minutes. And you're like, 2 minutes, that's great. I need those 2 minutes.
Nope.
And it doesn't work out.
Rob does that. Rob was a Waze kid. He loved Waze. And it was like, turn left on this unprotected onto La Brea, no stoplight, just at your own to save 30 seconds. And I'm like, no, I'm going to go up to the stoplight.
Yeah.
So I can make my left.
That's why I also did not ever use Waze.
I hated Waze.
Yeah.
No. And I was nervous when Google bought Waze and said they were like incorporating that into Google Maps. I was nervous, but luckily it was just the traffic part, not the actual direction part.
Not the actual direction.
Because Waze wanted you to get lost.
Yeah, very silly. Cross all these lanes of traffic. It won't make anybody angry.
So I like to always kind of start with our origin story of friendship.
Oh, yeah.
Did you know we've known each other for over a decade now?
Yeah, that's true.
Isn't that wild?
But I can't remember exactly how we met.
We met through Todd Buonapane.
Oh, Todd Buonapane.
Who was in Roadhouse.
I love Toddy. Yes.
So, not the film, the 30-minute musical. Yes. Brooke started a theater company called 30-Minute Musicals where she writes and develops classic, films of yore into 30-minute musicals. So she will concentrate and crush down an entire movie into a 30-minute musical that I don't think has ever been 30 minutes.
We like to say we hold for laughter.
That's it. On paper, they are 30 minutes.
Yeah, on paper, they're 30 minutes. But we add in a little, there's like a theme song. I don't count the theme song.
Yeah, there is a company 30-minute musical theme song that we would always sing that I sing in my sleep. I will sing that song till the end of time. Yeah. But much like everything in life and in Los Angeles and show business, a friend was in her show. I went to see a friend perform. We met after the show. I was like, hey, oh, good Lord.
It's the fairies.
Right?
They're here. The fairies are here.
That is the ring doorbell. So, we do record this at the Glendale mansion of Rob's parents, and they have a very loud ring doorbell just when someone walks by it. So I think a deliveryman has just walked by. Anyway, I went to see Brooke's show. Afterwards, I was like, I went to school for theater. I love singing and dancing and acting on stage. And she was like, well, we're about to do a new show. We're going to have auditions, blah, blah, blah. Why don't you swing on by? So I auditioned. I also knew other people in the company. Yeah. But I auditioned, and then it's just been a happily ever after since then. My first show was Independence Day.
Yeah. Oh, and you were Harvey. Remember that was Harvey and also
Randy Quaid.
Randy Quaid.
At least something good came out of that.
What a fun track. Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But the show was magical. We've done it several times. I mean, it was like a 4th of July tradition. We would do it every summer. Yeah, it's one of my favorites.
Yeah. I like to read. I love doing the shows and then getting to redo them around holidays or
well, a lot of them are
when they have anniversaries and
a lot of them are slightly connected to holidays.
Yeah,
sometimes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But the first show I saw was Roadhouse, but you've also done, and then the show I was in was Independence Day, and we've done Home Alone. Mm-hmm. We did Outbreak.
Yeah.
We did that's what Helicopter is from. That's what we opened with. Mm-hmm. And then there's one more that Hook, which is a favorite.
Hook, yeah.
Hook was a favorite. It's very fun because I played Peter's shadow.
You did.
Quite enjoyable. And then you've also done Jurassic Park, Ghostbusters, Top Gun, Roadhouse, and Transformers.
We did Transformers. Did you say Die Hard? I forget things.
I did not say Die Hard, but I have also been in Die Hard. I didn't originate it, but I have been in Die Hard several times.
Yes, we did The Crucible.
That's right. I was not in that. You did do The Crucible.
That was like fun holiday special with Miss Courtney Act.
Yeah, which I was a part of. Was Crucible your biggest production to date?
Yeah, Crucible had a lot of stuff in it.
Yeah.
It was also the most poorly attended.
Really?
Yeah, I think that
It's
was
one of
kind
my favorites.
It had that kind of like Transformers element of like, if you like the movie Transformers, you probably don't want to see a comedy musical.
True.
But I think a lot of people thought maybe Crucible was more about going to be like the play as opposed to the movie. Or it's
Yeah.
just not necessarily a movie that people are so culty about.
Yeah.
That movie is bonkers, but
Well, also, I feel like at that point, we, as a company, had enough word of mouth to be like,
Yeah.
doesn't matter what movie they're doing, it's going to be great.
yeah.
Wait, there's another one. Well, because we did Batman Returns as a holiday special, we just did like hits. Did you ever
Yes,
finish that show, like that script?
I'm still working on it. It's one of
Okay.
those I just kind of go back to.
Yeah. But
Because it feels like a Christmas film to me, so I do want to do it around Christmas time.
Yeah.
We are going to
It is a
revisit
Christmas movie.
Yeah, it is. We are going to revisit the trailer that we did for it in
Okay.
December with the yum yum kitty.
Kitty, yum yum.
Yum yum kitty.
And then there's one I'm forgetting, and I'm like seeing it in my mind's eye. Oh no. Because I'm like, wait, was that a 30-minute musical or was that just a show? We did something else. It's lost.
I know. I have to
Welcome to your
sometimes go
40s.
from the very beginning.
Yeah.
Showgirls, you said. Showgirls.
Oh no, I didn't say Showgirls,
Okay,
but that
so
is one.
Showgirls.
Oh, The Craft. Didn't you do The Craft?
Correct. The Craft.
The
Yes.
Craft. Was that a
Yes.
doubleheader with Crucible?
No.
Okay.
No. We did do
Two
The
different
Craft.
casts. Mm-hmm. Yes.
And Rose House we did as a rock opera.
Yes.
That was the only one we did entirely.
All singing.
Yeah.
Dancing review.
Yes. So stupid.
But for a time, Chaz Bono was in that's how we met
Yes.
Chaz.
That's how we met
Chaz was in our
Chaz.
company. Cher came to see us perform several
did.
times.
She called me a genius.
As she should. How many times have you like talked to Cher?
That would be like twice.
I was going to say mine was twice.
Yeah. She only came twice. She
and
came
she
to
is
Roadhouse and Independence Day.
Yeah, and she is a presence.
Yeah.
And she is everything you want her to be.
Uh-huh. She's like shorter than you think she is. But
Just literal.
she still
Yeah.
takes up the whole room.
Exactly. Yeah. And it just seeing her in real life and like, oh my God, your skin is perfect.
Yeah.
Your face is beautiful.
Yeah.
Cher is a treat and a delight. And so is Chaz. I haven't talked to Chaz in years, but
Yeah, we've like texted here and there, but
Rob
stays
was
busy.
Chaz's like go-to IT guy with video games for a little while.
Cool.
So like Rob was helping him out with connecting Xboxes and such or PlayStations. But yeah, but that first initial meeting of us was in like 2013, I think.
Yeah, that would have been right around there.
It was just crazy. And people come and go, just like myself. Los Angeles people move away and new people come. So tomorrow night you're doing a reading. I mean, this podcast is going to come out in 2 weeks, but tomorrow night you're doing like a staged reading of Ghostbusters. It's not the full production.
Not the full production.
But will you have Slimer?
Oh, absolutely.
Did you make that?
I did not. My friend Jonathan Pezza made it, and it's incredible.
Is he a
Slimer
puppeteer or a crafter or just good at his
he's not
craft?
currently. I think he kind of grew up. His dad did props and things for movies.
Okay.
And that he just had skills.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Part of Ghostbusters is Brooke has a puppet. You just call it a puppet with like sticks for arms and stuff. And you play Slimer, right? Like you're fully his voice and everything.
Yeah.
Did you also play Designing
Slimer.
Woman? What's her name? Annie Potts.
Yeah. And Janine.
Yeah. The thing about our company too is we all play like several roles per show. But so she would hold Slimer, and he's large and he's
a big Slimer.
Beautiful. He looks like Slimer.
Yeah, it's a great Slimer.
He's so cool.
Yeah.
And that's a fun show. I think my favorite character that you've ever written though is to Charlotte, the spider from Home Alone. It's Charlotte spelled with a TCH.
Charlotte, the
tap dancing singing spider from Home Alone. She turned Buzz's tarantula into a main character of the show, which you kind of also did an Outbreak. You made the monkey a character. And it really works.
And Jurassic Park, they really, I like
And
it.
as a comedian and writer and creative myself, I love when people surprise me with jokes. And so like all of Brooke's character choice, like when she adapts these movies into shows, I'm like, oh my God, I never would have thought of making the spider from Home Alone a very gay. Well,
very fluid.
She's a woman in the universe of the show. She's a woman, but played by a man, a very gay man.
Yes.
She has a very distinct, almost like the nanny voice, but very high pitched.
Yeah.
And
very Charlotte's Web is very.
Yes. Now, the monkey in Outbreak has aspirations of being a Broadway star, correct?
Oh yes. Yep.
And thinks that
because the monkey in Outbreak was that particular monkey was
like
also
in real life.
That was a show monkey, and that monkey was also
show monkey.
That monkey was also in Friends.
Was that Marcel?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
That makes sense though.
Yeah.
It makes sense that there was only one spider monkey that was, working in Hollywood.
Yeah.
At a time.
From 1990 to 1993.
But what were Charlotte's aspirations? I don't remember.
Charlotte just wanted to save Kevin. It was very much a Wilbur situation. She's writing messages to him in her web to say, Kevin, call the police. Kevin, let someone know you're home alone. You have a phone. Call someone, Kevin.
Yes. In Home Alone, I played John Candy. I also played Buzz.
In the furnace.
Oh, yeah, in the furnace. I still laugh like that. Almost constantly. The other thing I wanted to talk about is you work a lot in casting.
Yeah.
Like a lot. Mm-hmm. Both casting your own shows and stuff, which thank you for casting me.
Yeah, you're welcome.
And you also work a lot in casting commercials.
Yeah, I do work.
And it's so funny because before this, we worked on a self-tape for you. And before we did that, like I had a plan for what I wanted to talk about on the podcast because I was talking to a friend about this the other night. But like, I'm very pro self-tape submit, but it sounds like you might not be.
Oh, I'm definitely anti.
Oh, you're like
self-tapes.
You're not even just like one or the other. You're anti self-tapes.
Yeah, I kind of hate self-tapes. And they can be great. And for certain parts, certain situations, they work well.
Uh-huh.
I've certainly, I've done a lot of self-tapes. I've booked from self-tapes. That's all good and fine. When it comes to like comedy and commercials, it moves so fast.
Yeah.
That sometimes it's just like, just let me get in the room.
Yeah, you need to be with people.
And you don't want
to
beg a friend to help you do one or two lines for a commercial audition. I also find theatrical auditions for self-tapes are a little more forgiving, and there's like a better like formula for it. Mm-hmm. When it comes to commercial self-tapes, they don't always have the imagination. It's like, just let us all be in the same room. Yeah. Same lighting, same person behind the camera that's improvising with you, and call it a day.
I totally get that.
Yeah.
I was talking to my friend Sharon about how like, I feel like the first audition for everything should be a self-tape, only because I've been to so many calls where it was 25, 30, 40 people for the same role. And like we all had to like trek down La Brea, find parking, cram into this space for the initial audition. Yeah. And I'm like, I feel like the first audition should be self-tape, and then callbacks is when you're in the room with people. But it also makes sense that you could discover something on the first audition in the room.
Well, especially for commercials, they move so fast. Sometimes you get notes, the creative changes in the middle of the day or early in the morning, or, it's just easier to in person say, oh, that's not working. Now we need to do it like this. Yeah.
Well, and too, like the last like big commercial I booked was for Amazon, and it was because of my size compared to the woman that played my wife. I was married to a woman in a commercial.
So talented.
But one of the reasons they booked me is because when they saw us together, they were like, oh, that's hilarious.
That's funny. Yeah.
So my height doesn't really convey on film like it does in real life, especially when you have things against me to like judge size off of. But yeah, that makes sense. And what I also wanted to talk about was like, what is the industry of commercial like now? because I get brand deals. Like, I'm non-union. I've never been in SAG.
Yeah.
So like every commercial I ever booked was non-union, and like because I did a lot of promos and shit. But now as a content creator, which hate that phrase, but as a content creator who gets brand deals and stuff, I'm making way more money on my brand deals than I am like something that would have been booked and filmed. Although I do get very jealous when I see people that I know are in like a non-union spot or something. And I'm like, I do stuff on my TikTok that makes way more money and more people see. And yet I'm jealous that someone auditioned and booked something and got to film it on a set, you know?
Yeah.
But what, like, have you noticed since the pandemic and stuff, like, is stuff back? Is it going away? Is there as much work out there as there used to be? Is there more? Is there less? Like,
it's sort of a toss up. It really during the strike, commercials kept rolling because they're on a different contract.
Oh, really?
So
even though they were SAG people could still do commercials?
Yes.
Oh, I thought you just had to do the like the financial core necessity thing.
No, commercials kept rolling because it's a totally separate contract.
Oh.
Yeah. So a lot of people, a lot of actors who were on shows and didn't have necessarily the time to go in and audition for commercials, or were under contract and it was just more difficult to do commercials during the strike, were able to just go out and do commercials.
So the residual contract that SAG just got doesn't have to do with commercial residuals?
No.
Wow. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Because, back in the day, I mean, even when I moved here, and it might still happen, but when I moved here in 2006, you could still book one really good AT&T commercial and then buy a car. Residuals were like a thing for commercials.
Which not so much anymore.
And that's even in union contracts. Like, is it mostly just a buyout situation now?
Some jobs buy out, but it's like per cycle, you don't make quite car buying or house buying money anymore. Now, people who book those spokesperson things, they can be negotiated. That might be a little bit different. Yeah. But the number of commercials you have to do to make that kind of money, little more. Also, commercials don't. If you've noticed, like in the past, you saw a commercial that would run all the time. Yeah. For years and years and years.
Yeah.
Stuff doesn't have that long of a life anymore.
That Cadbury Bunny Lion must be making so much money.
Those Hershey Kisses bells, they make
R.I.P.
so much
it was
money.
Still with us. Yeah, right. There's another one. Oh, remember when they rebooted the Mikey Likes It Life cereal campaign? Well, and that's the thing. I guess now all we have is what, like Flo from Progressive. Yeah. Jake from State Farm.
The
WAMU emu ostrich guy. That's fascinating. Like the things people get paid for always blows my mind because it always comes from different directions. And like one thing that you think someone made $1 million off of, they made $5,000. And then one thing you're like, oh, they probably made $1,200, and they're like, no, I got $58,000 from that. And I'm like, what? That is insane.
Yeah.
So the other thing I wanted to talk to you about is Brooke is literally one of my like top 5 foodie soulmates. Like Brooke is a foodie.
I do love food.
Brooke is like me. She loves a delicious, very expensive, like gourmet meal in a fancy, trendy restaurant. It's honestly my happy place. I love that.
It's so wonderful because when you have a meal, you're also like with someone else, usually not always. Sometimes I'll go places and eat by myself. I don't.
Oh, for sure.
I don't care. But it's so nice to just sit down and have a little conversation and be like, "This is delicious. Isn't this delicious?"
Yeah.
Yes.
And then you catch up and you tell a story, and then you're like, "Oh my God, this is the best hummus I've ever had in my entire life."
That's like one of my favorite social activities.
Yeah. And I don't like. I'm not really a stuff person. Like I like little stuff like books and Legos and stuff. But like I don't need a fancy purse. I don't need fancy clothes, mainly because they don't fit me.
Yeah.
I don't even want to travel so much unless like we're going to Vegas and we're going to go to a fun steakhouse.
Yeah.
But the other night, like I'm like, you know what? I like to save up my pennies and go and
spend it on
I like
food.
to spend my money on fancy stuff. And Rob, picky eater.
Yeah.
We don't go out ever. Yeah. All we ever have is Chipotle and McDonald's. So one of the key things of this trip to LA was like, I am going to go on my foodie adventure.
Yeah.
And I'm going to get all that in while I can. The other night we went to a Trendalicious.
Very trendy.
Trendalicious restaurant of the moment. It's what, 2 years old?
Yeah, about.
Called Safi's on Fountain in East LA, Silver Lake, just LA.
Yeah, technically the neighborhood is Little Armenia.
Oh, I didn't know that. Mm-hmm. But it is this delicious Mediterranean restaurant that is very famous. Well, not famous, but very trendy, crowded. Mm-hmm. You know, we did have to wait almost an hour for a table, but it was worth it. The cocktails were great. It's all like small plates. It's all in like shawarma and stuff like that. Literally the best hummus I've ever had in my life.
Oh yeah, it's so good.
It was this beautiful hummus plate with like, it came with like jammy, soft boiled eggs on top. Mm-hmm. Beautiful like cumin and I'm like dreaming about it. And the best bread to dip in it.
Yeah.
That bread was heavenly.
Yeah. It's like a olive
my mouth is watering.
Yum, yum, yum. I could eat there every night.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
The menu is huge.
Huge.
Like, we didn't even remotely make a dent in that menu.
Yeah.
I think we got, like five, maybe 6 things, and there's probably like 50 things on the menu.
Mm-hmm. And they do switch things out. Every time I go, there's always something.
Oh, that's good.
Something new.
That's good. As long as they keep the classics. Because if I ever went and that hummus wasn't on the menu, I would riot.
Yeah.
That hummus is the kind of hummus you like write home about.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep.
But yeah, I love a good restaurant of the moment. Did you ever go to Ketchup back in the day? When did you move here?
04.
Okay, so you were here before me. And like, I want to say like 06 to 09 was the boom of the celebrity endorsed restaurant that had no business endorsing a restaurant.
Yeah.
And it was like Ashton Kutcher, Justin Timberlake.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Wilmer Valderrama. They were all opening restaurants around LA, and then they would get like it was when paparazzi was still really big, so they would get like paparazzi shots of so and so going to a restaurant, and Ashton Kutcher had a restaurant called Ketchup on Sunset.
That's right. I don't think I ever went though.
Ketchup themed, and their shtick was that they have 10 different ketchups, but it was good. We went they had the excuse me, my mouth is watering. I'm spitting everywhere. They had the onion ring tower. Like they were one of the first people to like stack onion rings on a paper towel dispenser, pretty much, and bring out a tower of onion rings with all their different ketchups. But they were so good. Geisha House. Did you ever go to Geisha House or Geisha House?
Yes.
I never got to go there, but it was like dumplings and stuff, right?
Yeah.
It is now an escape room on Hollywood, right?
A lot of escape rooms.
Yeah, there's a lot of escape rooms. But yeah, and Brooke lives like right in Hollywood right in Little Armenia, where there are a bunch of like really cute, trendy spots. Because you had suggested the other one was called Found Oyster.
Yeah, Found Oyster is delicious.
Now, is it just seafood?
Yeah, just seafood. Mm-hmm.
Luckily, we get that in Seattle.
Yeah.
And so that was one of the reasons why I passed on that one.
No thanks, yeah.
Because I'm not eating shellfish anymore. Like, I'm not eating like raw oysters.
Yeah.
I'll eat cooked mussels and like cooked clams, but like I'm not eating any raw bivalves anymore because so many people are dying now. It scared me. And it's mostly like in Florida, Mississippi, Louisiana. Like it's all usually stuff like they pull out of the Gulf pretty fresh. And we get a lot of oysters and stuff in Seattle out of our ocean, but
the Gulf has gotten so warm.
Yeah, there's like new bacterias that are killing people. And it's all it
fun
only
to swim
takes
in.
Yeah. It only takes one oyster to do it, you know? And I'm like, I can't do it anymore. And I did get like really bad, like yucky insides the last time I ate raw oysters. And so that kind of flipped the switch in my brain there too.
Yeah.
And then there was a third one that you had suggested the other night.
What did I say?
I don't remember what it was.
Goo.
Have you ever been to my dream restaurant? Which I used to say if I ever won an Emmy or an Oscar, that's where we're going. In Naka, the sushi restaurant.
It is also on my number one list.
It's my like, bucket list restaurant.
It's just difficult to like get the reservation, but every year I'm like, I want to try and make that happen for my birthday.
There's a chef's table. If you're interested, there's a chef's table episode. And then I think there's another little kind of documentary, something about her, the chef of Inaka. Yeah. It's a sushi restaurant, but like there's only, I think, 10 tables. Mm-hmm. The reservations go online, say at like 10 a.m. on one day for like 90 days in advance, I think.
Yeah, something like that.
And they instantly fill up. So every single day, they only have reservations for 90 days out, and they instantly sell it. Like it's like impossible to get a reservation. Yeah. And The food is amazing. It's like a 17-course sushi Japanese meal with wine pairings and everything. They literally call you. Like, the food is so catered to you and it's so different every time. The chef will call you and interview you about food that you like and then cater your tasting menu and everything to you, and then she keeps your interview on file. So if you should ever come back, she'll pull your file and be like, oh, I served them the scallops last time, we can't do scallops again. It's such a crazy, amazing concept of a restaurant that is, I want to say $700 per person. Our dear friend JD has gone several times, and it's one of the biggest jealousies I have in my life. JD has gone to Inaka more than twice, I think. And then during the pandemic, it was so crazy. Our upstairs neighbor was a sous chef, and she had gotten hired in Naka. And then the pandemic happened. And so they were doing to-go box tasting menus for like $40. And she was like, oh, the reservations go, or the sales, the tasting box sales go live every morning at like 9 a.m. or something. She was like, get one and so you can try it. And I was really excited to try it. I never got one. And they only did it for like a month. Yikes. But they instantly sold out everywhere. And I was like, I had my laptop, Rob's laptop, and my phone sitting there at 9 a.m. It turns, the things go on sale. I'm like, click to buy. And it's like sold out. And I'm like, I don't know how to do it any faster. Internet. How do we do this any faster? But yeah, that's my dream, just fancy, expensive restaurant
really want to
experience. Because I love, it's like, back in the day, I haven't been in forever, but for a very long time, my favorite restaurant to just treat myself with friends as an experience was Melting Pot. Have you ever done Melting Pot?
It's so fun.
It's so fun. And it's so
dumb
good.
And fun,
My best friend Kendra and I used to do it every year because she lives in Missouri. So I would go home to Missouri and we would do Melting Pot as our like friend dinner gift to each other. And Melting Pot is so fun. I don't even know if they're around anymore. Wasn't there one over here in like Glendale or something?
Maybe.
In the good old Glendale Galleria?
I don't know.
But yeah. What other restaurants have you been to recently? Like, what was the last, besides Safi's, what was your other most recent fancy?
JD and I went to Budonoki, and it was really
What's that? I've never heard of that one.
Budonoki is...
Sushi?
Yeah, Japanese. They have delicious sushi, all kinds of fun things. And it is on Virgil.
Okay.
Down from Squirrel and Courage Bagels.
Which
if you haven't had Courage Bagels,
I've seen them on TikTok.
Yum, 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 yum.
And was it like we did at Sugarfish that one time? Is it just like a tasting, like you let the chef decide? Or did you actually order your own stuff?
Yeah, you order your own stuff.
Okay. Mm-hmm. So it's just like traditional sushi restaurant. Mm-hmm. What is that? What is it called? Is that omakase, what we did at Sugarfish? Where like the chef just sends out...
Yeah.
You pay a base rate.
Yeah.
That was good. Although I don't like seaweed paper.
Oh.
Makes me gag a little bit.
I feel like most places have soy paper.
They do, but they won't generally do hand rolls. Remember I gave you my last hand roll? Because I was like, I can't eat the seaweed paper.
Yeah.
I can eat seaweed paper in normal cut sushi. Yeah. Because like it kind of blends in and fades away.
Yeah.
But whenever it's just a giant piece of seaweed paper, I'm like, it's not for me.
Yeah.
It just tastes like the beach where feet go, you know?
I don't mind that. I like it. Give me the feet. Give me the beach.
But I also have the cilantro gene where cilantro tastes like soap, but I work through it.
Yeah.
I force myself.
Yeah, you have to.
It's cilantro is just too good. I think Rob has helped me train my palate to cilantro because for a long time, because it was so soapy and perfumey, I was like, never. And then I really like it on poke.
Oh, yeah.
Like a big handful of it on poke and mix it in, almost like a cilantro salad.
Yeah.
It's so good with poke.
Yeah.
And my stomach is about to rumble because I'm so hungry.
Yeah,
and
now I'm hungry.
Talking about all this delicious food. Well, to keep the food train running,
food.
I think this is a good time to transition to our final segment, which is What's Your Order? What's your order? The theme song is as if it was sung on a theremin. That's the theme song. So I have here a delicious takeout container that probably had soup in it, filled with America's favorite fast food restaurants. So Rob is generally my guest and co-host in Seattle. We have already gone through every possible restaurant we can think of, and we started doing like Christmas morning, steak, cake, just like what has options that we can talk about what we choose. But for my California Dreamin' tour, coming back to LA for a week, I was like, I'm just going to put the fast food back in. So now it's America's favorite fast food restaurants, which I know you've eaten at.
Yeah.
So just
or
now
most
you're gonna,
there's some I haven't.
Yeah, but just choose one, and we're going to talk about our orders.
Okay.
All right. And today's What's Your Order is, drum roll.
Oh, Chipotle.
Chipotle. I love Chipotle. I've actually had Chipotle and I are fighting right now because our Chipotle in Seattle by our house, there's not a lot of Chipotles in Seattle, but they are there. But then they opened one right down the hill from us, and we were like, oh, Chipotle's back in our life. We're so excited. And every time we go, I get a little sick. And it's been 3 months in a row. The past 3 months, I'll get a little sick, and I'm like, I can't get the taste of Chipotle
back. What are they doing in there?
And then by the time I crave it again, I'll go back. They have an A grade on the front door, but every time we go in, there's just meats strewn about, rice. They're not wiping down, they're not cleaning, and because they're not doing that, it's making me think there's cross contamination. There's always lettuce in almost every single chafing dish. The sour cream is like, it's got corn, salsa, lettuce. Like, everything is just messy. Yeah. And it's always busy. So I think the staff is just not taking care of the place.
No, and they can't handle the volume.
And it could, because Rob never gets sick. So I'm like, it could just be coincidence and me and my body. But I keep getting sick at our local Chipotle. So I haven't given up on Chipotle yet, but I think I've given up on our location. Because during the pandemic, we lived at Beverly and Fairfax directly between two Chipotles. So we ordered Chipotle probably 3 or 4 nights a week. We ate so much Chipotle, DoorDashed to our home. But so I have 2 different Chipotle orders. Okay. If I'm doing a bowl, it is brown rice, pinto beans, chicken or carnitas. I switch up. And then I do mild / pico de gallo, whatever you refer to it as. Sour cream, cheese, guacamole. That's my bowl order. Yeah. But if I do a burrito, I usually either get no rice and yes beans, or no beans, yes rice. Because if you do rice and beans, by the time they get down to the end to roll it, too much. Your burrito's just going to explode.
Too much. Yeah.
And I have from time to time, especially if I'm dieting or something, I will get just beans, no rice, in a bowl, just to get all like the extra protein and stuff, because I feel like rice is so carby. Yeah. But yeah, so that's pretty much I've never gotten a salad, so I've never tasted the like famous vinaigrette that everyone's obsessed with.
Yeah, no, I've never gotten a salad.
The lettuce always just looks gross. Yeah. And also I don't generally like hot meat on a salad. Yeah. It wilts it so fast. It can make it like soggy and weird, and I'm just like, I don't want a salad from Chipotle.
I just don't like lettuce on any kind of taco, really.
Oh, really?
Like even when I used to eat Taco Bell more, I was like, I gotta have it no lettuce.
Yeah. I was gonna say, I do like a shredded iceberg on stuff like that, but very like Taco Bell. Like I would, if they had shredded iceberg at Chipotle, I wouldn't get it. I don't want those flavors together. But in my head, shredded iceberg is Taco Bell, Yeah. Mm-hmm. But also Chipotle uses romaine, and it's always like cut in giant strips, and I'm like, this is wrong. I like it. Yeah. I don't want it. Yeah.
I like a cabbage on a taco, like a cabbage slaw kind of thing. Especially on a fish taco. Yes. It's got to have cabbage. But I'm never I just don't like lettuce on the taco.
For a while I was getting quesadillas, but for a long time, I don't know about now, the Chipotle quesadilla was only available in the app, and it was like, that's so dumb. Yeah. That makes no sense.
No sense.
So, but they do have a delicious quesadilla because it's just cheese and meat, and it's very thick. And what is your Chipotle order?
So I mean, I guess just because of where I live, I don't go to Chipotle a lot because I love I love Guisado's tacos.
Oh, well, yeah.
And they're cheap and easy. And I'm obsessed with the burrito, the chicken tinga burrito at Terry's. Okay. On Melrose. Mm-hmm. I love that thing. And it's so close to the Chipotle I would go to, so why wouldn't I just go there instead? Terry's, yeah. But if Chipotle's happening, I avoid bowls because I'm like, I'm already here.
Yeah.
I'm already here. Let's have a burrito. Yeah. I love a chicken burrito. I like the cheese. I need the cheese. I always add guacamole. And I usually go beans and no rice as well.
Yeah. Because, they'll pack that goddamn burrito so tight, and then it's just messy. It's also too much food.
Yeah.
Like, even when you're starving, you're like, I want this burrito. I don't think I've ever finished an entire Chipotle burrito.
Yeah.
They're just so big.
Yeah. I'm also never scared to like sour cream because, I'm already there.
Exactly.
Let me have it.
When I get the quesadilla, I get just sour cream and guac as my sides, and then I just dip.
Oh, yeah.
Dip, dip, bite. But seriously, if they opened a Guisado's Tacos in Seattle, I don't think I would ever eat anything else ever again. It is my favorite taco restaurant.
Like the quesadilla with like the squeaky cheese. I don't understand like how the squeaky cheese happens, but sometimes if I order for delivery, I'm like, I'll just get a few extra squeaky cheeses, and then I'll just pop those in the fridge and have those another day.
Oh, the quesadillas
I always
are so
over
good.
order.
Always.
So I'll have like next day tacos.
Yeah. They used to do, I mean, I'm sure they still do. I don't know. I haven't been in forever. The mini samplers where they would do like little tacos.
Yeah.
Like 5 or 6 little tacos. Mm-hmm. Yeah. The samplers were the best.
And the mole there is great. I
So
love
good.
a sucker for a mole. I love it.
That is the only, so a rule of mine when it comes to food, I'm not that much of a picky eater, but I do have a couple rules. One, I will not eat octopus because I think they're too smart and I think they might be aliens.
I'm allergic.
So to octopus?
Yeah, to
that's right. We just talked
cephalopods.
about
Yeah.
that. Yeah, cephalopods. So I won't eat octopus because I think they're watching us and I'm not going to eat our watchers.
They're from another planet for sure.
Their technology
the
is too
angels
strong.
among us.
Yeah. I won't eat octopus. The other thing is I won't eat organs, but I will eat lingua, which is like tongue. I will eat the lingua tacos at Guisado's because you just have to. It's heavenly.
Yum. Yeah.
And then I will also do the chicharrone, like, the pig skin tacos there because it's in their mole sauce and it's so so heavenly.
Yeah. I love
Thank
that
you for
they've
reminding me of
opened
Guisado's
so
because
many locations.
I forgot about them. And
There's one in Glendale, right?
I think and there's one in Pasadena now.
There's definitely one in Pasadena.
I need to add that to my bucket list before I go back to Seattle. I still have like 10 days, so I will make it to Guisado's because that was like one of my dream LA restaurants. We used to eat there all the time.
Yes.
Yum,
yum.
Yeah, they did like a creamy shrimp or like a shrimp with like a hot mayonnaise sauce or something. I don't know. It was delicious.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I'm so hungry now. Brooke, thank you so much for doing my purd cursed.
Oh, you're sure welcome.
Thanks for coming all the way to Glendale.
Anytime.
And thanks for talking.
Anytime you're in Glendale, I'm not gonna. I won't fly up to Seattle just for the podcast. I don't know. I might.
Thanks for talking casting shop with me.
Yep.
Because I have quit stand up, but I've also quit auditioning for commercials because there might be an industry for it in Seattle.
I don't
even know how I would begin it. I know that they do audition for a lot of stuff up there, but I think it's all TBS theatrical that shoots in Vancouver. So
definitely commercials shoot in Vancouver, that's for sure. But a lot of stuff, like they're casting the bigger roles in LA, and they're doing their extras casting. In Vancouver.
True. I had a friend once that did a Disney Channel movie that she booked out of Seattle, but then it filmed in Canada. So it's like I don't even know, and I'm sure I could Google. I don't even know how to break into the audition scene of Seattle for even what they would offer.
Yeah.
Plus, like I said, I'm non-union, but I can do a brand deal that makes more money than a non-union commercial.
Yeah.
So it's like, well, why would I go that extra mile?
Right.
I should do it because I want to be famous. I want to be television famous.
There you go. You go.
Where do you want people? Where can people find you on the internet?
You can go to 30-Minute Musicals on
TikTok,
Instagram and TikTok.
How is it spelled?
I think you can just look up 30-Minute Musicals.
Okay.
Yeah.
Numbers, not letters. So numbers 30 and then minute musicals. Okay.
Yeah.
Because I wasn't sure if it was like 30mm on TikTok.
Yeah, I like nickname it 30mm, but I think it's just written out on TikTok.
Yeah, we got to get you.
I've been resistant to the TikTok.
We talked about this the other night. We got to get you start dropping.
I'm trying to like get into it.
Dropping the Conti.
Dropping the
Because you have it. It's already on your computer.
I definitely have it.
It's literally just editing.
Yeah.
And for me, editing is my favorite thing. Editing's my favorite.
Well, then I'll send them to you and you edit it.
There you go.
There you go.
You just got to clip it.
That's your new
just
contribution to 30 Minutes.
Yeah. But so yeah, thank you so much for doing the podcast. Oh my God. It's so good to see you.
You as well.
And
thank you for being in town.
Yeah. And thanks for being my foodie soulmate. We have to go somewhere else together before I leave. But,
yeah. Well, I guess we're going to Guisados.
right now. But thank you guys so much for watching on YouTube and tuning in, Spotify and Apple. Please continue to like and subscribe and comment and share and tell your friends. Yeah, we'll see you on the next one. All right. We love you. Goodbye.